Hans-Joachim Herrmann, also known by his nickname of Hajo Herrmann, was born on August 1, 1913, in Kiel, in the Kingdom of Prussia, within the German Empire. He began his military career as an infantry officer, but joined the newly formed Luftwaffe in 1935. From 1936 until 1937, he was a bomber pilot in Condor Legion in the Spanish Civil War. Early in World War II, Herrmann flew bombing missions in both the invasion of Poland and Norwegian campaign. By 1940 he was commander of the 7th Staffel of KG-4, and took part in the Battle of Britain. He sank 70,000 tons of Allied shipping as a bomber pilot, and was instrumental in the attack upon the Allied Atlantic convoy PQ-17 in 1942. In February 1941, his group was transferred to Sicily, from where it attacked Malta, and fought in the Battle of Greece. In one attack Herrmann sank the ammunition ship Clan Fraser in the port of Piraeus. The explosion sank 11 ships and made the Greek port unusable for months after. He was then assigned to the General Staff in Germany, in July 1942, where he became a confidant of Luftwaffe commander Hermann Göring. That year Hans Herrmann was appointed to the Luftwaffe operational staff. He played a role in the creation of night fighter wing Jagdgeschwader 300, using day fighters at night in response to the night raids of Royal Air Force Bomber Command on Germany in mid-1943. As a single-seat night fighter he scored 9 victories. In December 1943, Herrmann was appointed Luftwaffe Inspector of Aerial Defense. By 1944 he was Inspector General of Night Fighters and received the Knight's Cross with oak leaves and swords, and at the end of 1944 he was leading the 9th Air Division. Hans-Joachim Herrmann was a leading exponent of the tactical deployment of Ram Jägersonderkommando LB, the Ram fighters, Hof sent into action in April 1945. These were suicide pilot volunteers, usually radicals aged 18 to 20, who were to be trained only to be competent enough to use specially lightened and unarmored Bf-109 fighters to bring down Allied bombers by ramming the tails or weak points with the propellers of their aircraft and bailing out if possible. Herrmann's intention was to gather a large number of these fighters for an attack on the U.S. Air Force bomber formations in the hope of causing enough U.S. casualties to hinder the bombing offensive for a few months. German fuel shortages prevented deployment of the large numbers Herrmann intended, although from one mission, which happened on April 7, 1945, 120 fighters left to launch an attack, and only 15 returned to base. He surrendered to the Soviet Red Army at the end of the war, and a prisoner in the USSR for 10 years, before being released to West Germany in late 1955. In 1959 Herrmann married the German soprano Ina Borgerei-Helt. They had 2 children together. After his release, he also studied law and settled in Düsseldorf, in West Germany. As a lawyer, he defended Otto Ernst Riemer, who was the head of the neo-Nazi Socialist Reich Party, and the Holocaust deniers David Irving and Freda Leuchter. Herrmann's friendship with Otto Riemer, a committed Nazi and former Wehrmacht officer, was rooted in their mutual Holocaust denial activities. Herrmann died on November 5, 2010, in Düsseldorf, Germany. He was 95 years old.